Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap morning pre-market session and trade plan setup for Wednesday, July 2nd, 2014. Hopefully all our Canadian members had a happy Canada Day. I didn't take it off. I worked yesterday because I'm going to be taking the American Friday off. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is a self-organized learning environment. It is a private venture, not a commercial venture, and we've had a private Skype room now for coming up on 5 years next month. And if you're interested in checking out, we get together every day. We get together every day and have talks about the market. If you want to join, you'll need a Skype account. And you can send me a contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Also, we'll be moving everything off of Skype in about 30, 60 days from now up into the new portal that's being built, stealthtrader.com. And if you're interested in finding out more about Stealth Analytics and our intuition amplifiers, you can give me an email at d.mckay@stealthtrader.com. Each morning we come together in this live go-to, and I go over my analysis and set up my trading levels for the day and what my hypotheses are and our trade plan and targets for the day. But before we do that, we've got to get the disclaimer out of the way. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than their initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own plan, do your own due diligence. Okay, so we had the big move up yesterday, of course, and couple key levels were hit, especially in the Russell. We hit that 1210. The target yesterday was 1210. We hit 1210.70 at the high. Luckily, we didn't take out my swing short stop. I still have it sitting at 1974.75 with my Theo average up at 1992.50. So that I'm not moving my stop because I want to lock in that profit. I did the work. I got to get paid, so I'm leaving that alone. But hopefully, we stall out here and have a rotational day today. Let's get right into the numbers. We do the macro to the micro on numbers, wrong sheet. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, you might want to just skip ahead. We do this as a routine to get ourselves prepared for trading, also to understand the context between the macro to the micro. Our all-time new high and year high and month high is 1971.75. We're second day into the month and we've got a brand new all-time high. It'll be interesting to see if this 71.75 holds. I'm not betting that that's going to be the case this early in the month, but you never know. Our month open 1954.50, and our low is 1953.50. Nothing else in the macro, so we'll just go right over into the intraday numbers from yesterday. Going into the trading session yesterday, our Globex open was 1954.50, our month open and our week open. Our Globex high was 58.25, our low was 53.50, also our month low, and then we opened auction right on the top tick from Friday. I'm sorry, from Monday. So we didn't have a open auction outer range, but as we called in the room yesterday, any break above this 56.75 with buyers stepping in, initiative buyers stepping in, we should see a move up to take out the all-time high, which we did. We did have an open drive. It was a weak open drive because we did have that small rotation down to 53.50, but it was very quick, and then they popped right back up. We broke the IB to one side for normal variation. Our opening swing high 59.50 opening swing low, 56.25 for a 3.25 point opening swing. Initial balance, 64 high, 56.25 low, and for 7.75 point initial balance. So pretty normal. The trend has continued up again. All our intraday numbers were higher. Our 1230 number, 1971.25. Our RTH high, 71.75. Our low, 56.25. And RTH close at 1966. And our VPOC shifted up again to 1965.75. So values continuing to be accepted higher. Our 20-day ATR targets are running right now just under 11.75 for the RTH, just over 13.5 for full session, and just under 7 for the Globex. Value area was higher, with the value area high at 70.75 and the value area low at 63.25 for 7.5 point. And then we did a make and break on the IB in the second pocket, right at the most accepted time for the initial balance breakout at 9:56. That would be central. And then we had higher than normal volume, 1.3 and 1.4, which is interesting considering we did have a Canadian holiday. Not that we matter much, but I was expecting a little bit lighter volume. On the daily report, right now we have a Globex high of 1970 and a Globex low of 1965.25. Is it 65.25? 1965.25. Is it 1965.25? Sorry, let me just bring this up here. Yeah, just wanted to verify. So our 20-day ATR targets are to the upside. We have 1978.75, and to the low side we have 1956.50. Okay, news today. Well, we had the non-farm employment change, and it was expected at 208, and it actually came in at 289, I believe. So got a little bit of a wiggle, but not a big move. Of course, the big one is going to be the Fed chair speaking at 10 Central, 11 Eastern, but we do have factory orders and crude at 9 and 9:30 Central. Let's take a look at the trends going into the day. Macro to the micro, trend on the monthly, very strong, good separation of the 9 EMA, 20 SMA. Trends are very much intact on the monthly. Same thing on the weekly, good slope and separation, so the trend is very much intact on the weekly. On the daily, same thing. We've got a bit of a technical gap with a possible tech gap Mr. Sneaky here. I am expecting a rotational day. A gap close will take us down into that 1955, 1956 level if we close it through price or rather than by time. But I am expecting a rotational day, and I'm expecting to test both sides of this value area. Going over to the geometric chart, we held the lower line of the short-term upward sloping fork, and we tested the upper line of the intermediate upward sloping fork right here at 71.75, almost to the tick. Right now we're holding below this line, so a test of the upper line of the intermediate upward sloping fork will give us a move to test that high, and possibly 1972. A break above that line would give us a move off of the lower line of the shorter time frame and take us up here. We've got an energy point up here at about 1980.75. So if we break out of the intermediate upward sloping fork, a test of the center line of the long-term upward sloping fork and the center line of the short-term upward sloping fork will take us up to 1981.25. So mark this number down on your charts. It's actually due not today, it's due tomorrow, but we could see it. If we hold below the range high from yesterday and we get a rotation down to test the lower line of the intermediate, the short-term upward sloping fork, takes us down into that 1957.75. That will give us a gap close on the daily, thereabouts, and take us down near that ATR target down at 1956.50. So this is all within possibility today. Let's take a look at the trend on the intraday to see if we've got any trends going on into the open. We've got a tech gap, Mr. Sneaky set up right here. There's the tech gap. There's the Mr. Sneaky, and we're basically looking to close this gap through time, but a move down to close the gap would take us down into 1964.50 area. I'm expecting this gap to get closed today. But we do have a trend. We've got slope and separation on the 4-hour to the upside. On the 30-minute, a little bit different picture, basically just consolidating sideways after making that move up last night. This is a really good example of a tech gap being closed out through price. Tech gap, Mr. Sneaky. And if you remembered, yesterday in the room, when we got up to that 1971.75, I posted the chart showing that we were hitting that key level on the geometric chart with the Mr. Sneaky on the 5-minute. I expected a rotation off of that, and we did get a rotation off of that that move. Mr. Sneaky led the way yesterday. And then going down to the 15-minute, same thing, consolidation, and just down to the 5-minute, same thing, consolidation. So, trend on the 4-hour, but with a tech gap, and the rest of the time, shorter time frame intraday are showing continuation. Let's take a look at the big picture overall. So we had this microcomposite, okay, that goes back to 0526, and I was noting to you on Monday that the value was being accepted higher here at 1953, and that we were likely to get a breakout to the upside because we keep coming up and accepting value higher. We had a 5-day microcomposite, smaller microcomposite, with the MCVPOC at 1952.25. We accepted that value, and then yesterday we went and broke out and went and put in that all-time new high. So we're up here in this distribution zone. Two key areas we want to keep an eye on: 1968.25, 1965.75. If we hold above the 64.25, expect for a rotational day and a possibility of getting stuck inside of this wick right here as we mature the auction in this level and see if they'll accept value higher. If we break below the 64.25, look for a move down to test the other side of balance and the CLVN and the range high from the longer-term microcomposite and the shorter-term microcomposite down here at 61.25 to 60. Below that, I'm looking for a move back into 58 and possibly move down to that 56.50. Remember, the 56.50 is our 20-day ATR target to the downside, and would also give us a move down to test the range low from yesterday. So let's take a look at the intraday and start moving our numbers over. We've got an overnight high right now at 1970. It's basically 3 ticks below the value area high. Our low overnight is 1965.25. So basically 2 ticks below the naked VPOC, and the close from yesterday at 1965.75. And the VPOC overnight is not likely to shift 1967.25. Inventory last night is net long, so we do have accepted value higher overnight. So let's take a look at what the possibilities are. And there's no, I meant to look to see if there's any key LVNs. Let me just check that first. It's really at 68.50, but that's about it. So currently right now, if we open up where we are, we're going to be opening up inside of value and inside of range. I expect a rotational day. I expect both the value area high and value area low to be tested. This is a tough area to trade inside of here. If you're going to use anything, I would use the LVN right here at 67.25. You've got a CLVN at 67, and that's separating the two CHVNs, between that 68.50 and 65.75. So, but it's not a low risk trade because it's very toothy on the profile here. So you got to keep your levels really tight. Your stops really tight. But you got to get in. If you take the break above 67 LVN and CLVN, you got to get funded before the 68.25, and get funded or scaled, and hold on for a move up to take the overnight high out and the test of the value area high at 70.75. I would expect responsive sellers to step in at this level between 70.75 and 71.75. So you really got a bit of a slush area between the value area high. So as always, when you've got two levels that are very close together, you've got to play them differently to each direction. A break, to take the breakout, wait till we get above 71.75. A rejection or break back into value, you have to wait to get below 70.75. So just be careful in this area. Any move above this, we've got the 127 extension is up at 71.25 from the overnight, but we've got measured moves right now at 1976.75. That's going to be my first target above range. And then we've got one up at 1988.50. And what did we say? We had that, what was the test of the, sorry, I forgot to write that down. What's the measure? Call it 1981.75. $1981.75. And just as I've been saying is, we get above the all-time high, there's not much to guide us up there. It's not a safe play to try to fade the move unless you get a perfect setup like we did yesterday at that 71.75. So be careful trying to short anything above range and above value. If we get below this 1967, look for a move down to take out the naked close and naked VPOC and the overnight low. Perfect target down there. So any rejection and break below 67, go ahead and get short into this. I think we'll take it down. Get funded before there, and look for the continuation down to play out the 80% rule down to the value area low down here at 63.25, and possibility of responsive buyers stepping in there to hold us inside of value. Below the value area, that puts us, for a move down to test the 61.25, so that's the first destination that you want to be looking for. It's really 61.25 through to 1960, the range high from the micro composite, but we're going to put it at 61.25 and front run it. It's also a LVN from yesterday in the lower distribution. We've got some auction repair that needs to be done below here, but below 61.25, I would look for a move down to 60. But the big destination down here is this 1958.75. Come on. And then, once we're in this destination, look for them to come down, hit the ATR, 20-day ATR target to the downside, and the CLVN and the range low, all down here between 56.25 and 56.70, 56.50. And then, if we get below this distribution, you've got a really nice trade set up to the short side. Because they'll give up the whole gain that they made. We still got a gap close down here at 1954, and then back inside of this long-term price acceptance and the MCV from the last balance area that we just broke up down at 53 and 52. But you've got the value area high at 55.50. So any break below 56.50, okay, be careful, get funded before we get to this 55.50, and then keep your stop tight. So I'm going to put 55.50 as a target just below. It's really tight. I think that it won't give us much support. I think we go down and take out the gap down here at 54.50. And then inside of this distribution zone, I'm expecting chop down to towards the big target, which is the 53. And of course, you got to make a VPOC and the MC VPOC from the last 5 days balance down at 52. So 52 and 53 are the big targets, with the other side of balance being that 50-50. And that's just above that range high that we took out. And then below 50-50, everything shifts down to this this 48.50 and 47.75. And I'm going to use 47.75 as the target. Of course, be careful with 48. With nothing really below that until we get to near the value area low at 43.50 and the CLVN at 44.25. So I'm going to use 44.25 as the level, with 43 just below it. I'm not expecting that big of a move down, so we're not going to take the numbers out. Look at your QLTP sheet if you want better guidance. We're 1908. Let's take a look at the Russell. Sorry, we're 908. Russell Composite and intraday. And all right, so far right now on the Russell, we have an overnight high of 1203.20, and we have an overnight low of 1220. Which is basically sitting just one tick below the value area. So we're currently trading right inside of value, at the value area low. I expect this 1200 to get tested. We've got repair in the lower area of this auction. We did complete the rule of 10 yesterday and went and hit that 1210. So break below value, I look for a break below the, let me just put the overnight VPOC in, 1201.20. Get rid of this. A break below this centennial number will take us outside of value and back into the 1900s, and the first destination below us is 11. What did I have? 1198. Let me just bring up my notes from earlier. There we go. First destination was 1198.70. And that's going to test the LVN from overnight. And then, I'm sorry, from yesterday. And then if we get below 1198, everything shifts to this 1195.90. Remember, that was our destination, our first target above range, and one that we've been watching for the last week and a half as we came up accepted value higher. So a move back to find buyers down here at 1195.90 would be in order with a break below 98.75. Doesn't want to draw for me. And of course, that puts us in this distribution, and there's really nothing, in this area until you get down to 1192.75, which is basically going to take you down near the open yesterday, and the number that we were trading off of yesterday, and test the open and the range low at 92. And that number was a great number yesterday that held, and that's where I'd expect responsive buyers to hold us inside of yesterday's range. Anything below 92, I'd look for a move down to take out the gap and the naked VPOC down in this 1189, 87, 80 area. I'll just put a target right smack in the middle of those numbers, and then once we're down in around this 88 level, the key level that we need to hold is 1186.30. And then anything below that, same thing as the ES. We look for a move down to the value area high at 82.40. And once we're back inside of value, everything shifts back to that 1178 number. And 1178, which will take us down to test Monday's range low as well, and back into this balance down here. And then with the other side of balance being down at 1176.30. All right. To the upside, look for above 67. I'm sorry, get my my market straight. Inside of value, if we hold inside of value, look for them to take out the naked close at 1201 and a move up. It's pretty toothy here. There's not a lot of areas that I would look for. I'd look for the move through to the overnight high at 1203. 20, and a move to take out the naked VPOC here at 1204.30. And of course, I at that point in time look for a value area trade up to test this 1206 area. This, if we hold above 1200, the whole day is going to be rotational to me inside of this wick, and we'll get stuck in this wick. Outside of value, look for them to come up with the first target up here at 1208.50. Sorry, 1208.50, and then a move to go and test the range high, and then above the range, we're in all-time new highs again, and we've got measured moves right now to 1239.50. Come on. My buttons are driving me nuts lately. And there's really nothing to guide us up here, so just, again, don't try to fade the all-time new highs unless you get a good setup. All right, take a quick look at gold. So, yesterday we were talking about, holding this this 1323 30 area and staying, above value at 1320 and a test up to, see if we broke out of this 1329 70 area, and we said if we broke above that, we'd likely go up and test, 32, 33 area, and we went up. And I got that one trade from yesterday, but it just stalled out. I still anticipate the flag destination trade, the measured move up to 1362.80 is still intact. This is just a bit of a stall out. If I move these 2 days into this balance, our value area increases to 1322. I like that because it's sitting just below this key CLVN at 1323.30. So the key levels today are going to be very similar to what they were yesterday. We want to hold outside of value. If we get below this CLVN, look for a rotation back down into the microcomposite VPOC and a move down into that 1315, 1316 area with the lower side test of the value area low at 1311.30 and a possible continuation down to the 1307. As I've been mentioning, if we break 1307, don't even think about it. Just sell, sell, sell. Okay, because we're going to go down and test that 1300 level. You just want to make sure you get in and get scaled before the range low at 1305. But I really think this is a nice $700 move on a one lot. But I think you can get continuation because I think we'll come all the way back down to the composite VPOC down here at 1293. But we've got to get below that 1307 before I would take the short. Okay, anything above that, I still think you've got to be thinking continuation to the high side. If we break above this 1329, look for a move up to test this 1334 and break it above. And if we break above this range high at 34.90, I'd be looking for a move up to the 41 area. But really, I've got my eye on this 1346.20. And then a move above that, I think you've got a nice destination trade to 53. And 66. And remember, 62.80, I believe, is the measured move on the flag. I'd have to go back and take a look at it. But that's what I'm looking at on gold. So as always, this is going to complete the morning homework session. Trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.